Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to the show. Welcome to the Hive, to all the Hivers out there. Jeannie, I just got to say, I love your energy, and I love those bee emojis. And what a coincidence that you say you raised bees growing up. It's like you were meant to be a member of the Hive. That's pretty awesome. Wow, yeah. It's truly been an incredible ride here with you guys, and to all of our new users and people who are joining and engaging during this bear market, I cannot express how excited I am for you and for our journey together, and just how amazing things are about to get. Now, if you're tuning in to these YouTubes at this moment in time, you're one of the very, very few in this space who haven't tuned out or who aren't sort of already flip bull mode, ready to, you're one of the few who are tuning out the noise and tuning into the signal, right? So that's what we're trying to get to on this channel. Now, yesterday we did a very, very big, very important live where we literally mapped out all of the different scenarios that could happen. And just in case you missed it, I'm going to summarize it very briefly right now. So we could get one more pretty massive leg down for altcoins if the others chart that plays out the pattern that we discussed yesterday. And it would be a significant pullback for alts. And we're talking potential generational opportunity to buy. Okay, so that's got me actually really excited, because once you confirm the bear market, once you accept that we're in a bear market, which, let me remind you, this is not all doom and gloom and bleak. I still believe in this space with my, everything I have in my bones in my body, right? This is the future. I'm positioned. I have a very long-term back. I stack Bitcoin whenever I get a chance. But with the trading and the knowledge, now I can get much better entries as a long-term investor, and of course, compound my gains by the scalp trading, the day trades, swing trades that we teach in the Hive in the group. So the link's in the description below to get into our VIP Hive Telegram group. You'll come into our VIP support verification channel, and it'll just show you how to use the bot to get in. And you sign up with BYDFI, and we will get you a $100 bonus to trade with, your tuition bonus, okay? So it's a wonderful opportunity. You'll be there till March 1st. That's it. So do take advantage, and then it becomes a paid group. So guys, back to the theory, okay? So massive potential dip for altcoins. Now, I know a lot of you are bag holders of altcoins. It's not something you want to hear. People generally only want to hear bullish things. And my point is, once we confirmed that we are in that bear market and that potentially we'll be in that bear market until maybe November, December, January, right? So for another 8-9 months, or 10 months at this point, it's fine. We can wait for that, because then we got another 3 years of exuberance, and this is potentially the last crash, the last leg down for Bitcoin. And what we did say about Bitcoin is that it could very well bottom, meaning hit its lowest price that it will go for the next 4 years anyway, within the next 30 days. So you've got to be laser focused today. You've got to be laser focused, watching all the signals, all the signs, and understand what to do next. So we said altcoins could have another massive leg down that could take a little bit longer than Bitcoin, traditionally several months, right, to bottom after Bitcoin, but it will be an amazing opportunity if it does play out. So we went over those scenarios, and we are going to drop a manual in the group with all of the coins that we will be buying in that potential crash, a leg down scenario for altcoins, right? All of the ones that have the best fundamentals. I'm always boots on the ground. I talk to teams every single day. I talk to major exchanges all the time, and I really get a lot of information. So all of those teams that I see are building, creating real revenue streams, and sort of in the spotlight that we believe would be great buys, great accumulation buys during this dip. And we're going to map them out with exact fib levels and buy targets. We're not just going to say, these are the coins we're dollar cost averaging into. No, we're going to give you levels at which you're going to go and find those different coins and be able to map it out on your own chart. Okay. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. We are going to drop that guide in the group exclusively for the group. So you've got to join the group in the link below. And I will say, one of those coins is Hype. Hyperliquid has been really crushing it lately. And for me, all the coins that are focused on real revenue streams have a real organic adoption that doesn't need to be forced. People like Hyperliquid. It's kind of like Polymarket. People love to use it. It has real users, and that's why it's beating Aster right now, plain and simple, right? And so it actually, I think, beat Coinbase and fee generation, which is pretty wild. So we're going to give you some of those alpha tips. Now, another thing that I have on my mind is, as we went over when altcoins could potentially bottom or have their next flash crash or leg down, I sort of saw this come out from Brad Garlinghouse today, the CEO of of Ripple, right? And he was saying that potentially we could get that market structure bill passed 90% by April. And I thought, could this be like the scenario where it's like a sell the news, sell in May, go away? We'll explore this with Rob now, as well as we're about to explore with Rob. So stay tuned because it's going to be absolutely amazing. Why some of those cycle top indicators, why none of them flashed? How did we get this bear market confirmation without even getting close to the cycle top indicators? How is that possible? We're going to go over that in today's episode, as well as some of those altcoin tips, right? Okay, so but just check this out with me real quick, and then we'll pull Rob up. Here we go.
90% it will pass by the end of April. I had said a couple weeks ago, I thought end of April. At the time, people thought that was a little optimistic. There's a meeting today with a lot of leaders on both sides, the crypto and banking, in the White House.
So 90% chance, guys, that legislation is going to be passed by April. That's pretty big. And honestly, it's really what's keeping a lot of capital out of crypto right now is the lack of clear regulation. As Rob has said many times, corporations, institutions, sovereign wealth, they don't like uncertainty. They don't want to be hit with bad regulation after they're already knees deep in an industry. So that could potentially open the floodgates, but just look what happens with the ETFs. After the launch of the ETFs, we had sort of a big sell-off, and then we went up, and to the right from there. So these are all the potential scenarios playing out, but I think it's about time to add Rob to the stage and see what he thinks about all this. What's up, Rob? How are we doing?
I'm doing wonderful today. I'm just enjoying. It's actually getting warm around here. All the snow's melting. Now my yard's just a big muddy wreck. So,
yeah. And by the way, guys, I don't know if you even had a chance to make yourself one, Rob, but it is crypto and cocktails today because we won't be streaming tomorrow. So if you guys are drinking something, let me know where you're drinking. Jeannie, is that looking like you're having a coffee right now? Do you have a cocktail? I actually have a tea for the second crypto and cocktails in a row. I guess it's just because I'm in focus mode, guys. I don't know. I'll be having some cocktails over the weekend, but I've got my yogi tea. For all those who know, I love the little quotes on them and stuff, and they're absolutely amazing. Rob, what are you drinking?
Honestly, I don't have anything right now. I kind of forgot today. It's not Friday, so
it's not Friday. It's not our crypto and cocktails day.
I have to drive afterwards. I have to take my daughter to youth group today, so I got some stuff like that to do. So
you're being responsible. It's all good. It's all good. I know people
today. I don't do moonshine and drive my kids around. That's very
that's good. That's good to know. I mean, I know people. We love our crypto and cocktail Fridays, but tomorrow I'm going to meet one of our potential partners. It's quite a long drive from where I live, and we might be doing some very exciting stuff with them and potentially adding a lot of value for you guys in the group. So since I have that long drive, I won't be able to tune in tomorrow. So you got to just get in the group if you want to stay updated, guys. That's it. Jeannie's having an iced coffee. That sounds amazing. Still have parent pickup. Yep. Okay. So we're being responsible today. All right. It's not Friday. I get it. But tea is fine. Iced coffee is fine. In fact, I'm going to read you my quote because I feel like this quote is very, very fitting for the time that we're in. By the way, everybody, happy, Chinese New Year, just happy New Year to everybody who celebrates that. It is the year of the fire horse. And I have a lot of clients that work out of Hong Kong and Asia, and they are saying that, that represents new momentum, fire, building, and like an unstoppable force, right? That there will be some turmoil, but that this is going to be sort of like an inflection point year. So I truly believe that. And if you are, in the middle of building something, in the middle of thinking about taking a leap, changing something you don't like in your life, now is the time to do that. Now is the time to assess and to just focus. So back to the quote, which I think is very fitting. Be consistently constant and constantly consistent. So why I like that is because bear markets on the surface, they seem very, very boring because they move sideways and they don't do anything. And you sort of like have to do a lot of planning and positioning and patience until one day, boom, it takes off. It was the most incredible buying opportunity of your life. And I feel like if you're tuned into these quote unquote boring times, these are the absolute best time to generate wealth. Hence the title, biggest wealth generation event in crypto. I truly believe so. So Jeannie, yeah, a lovely Spain drive. Yeah, I know. I'm not complaining about it. I mean, I love driving in Spain. It's like you see olive trees, wild bulls all over the highway, right? Like on the sides. It's a lush landscape. But I just won't be in a place where I can have constant internet. I don't know how long it'll take. So yeah, that's why Crypto and Cocktails is today. But yeah, everybody who's out there, you got to visit me in Spain. But anyway, back to you, Rob. So what are your thoughts today?
So, I mean, my thoughts are still the same as yesterday. We're getting prepared for that big pull down potentially we're getting in the market. And I was just doing some stock research today. I haven't got finished doing it just yet. But something that's been kind of going on in the background of the stock market is like the owner of Amazon. Why can't I think of his name off the top of my head? He has been selling lots of Amazon stock. There's been a lot of insider traders selling going on right now. And I think I just sent a picture to you, Megan, to you, that if you want to share it, it's
Yeah.
Berkshire Hathaway, the cash, basically Warren Buffett's business. They have a record stockpile of cash right now. So what are they doing right now, and why are they doing it? Well, I don't even want to know. Like, we already have we have ideas of why they can do it. We could maybe go over that in the next episode. But what were we saying yesterday? Be prepared. Like, bear markets isn't about being bearish and being negative about it. It's about admitting they do happen. They happen every 4 years. There's 4-year cycles. They happen in the stock market as well too. There's different cycles. The thing is, there's been crashes in '08. There's been crashes in the .com bubble. There's always been those type of things in history, and they happen over and over again. And there's always signs in the background, which maybe later on in some other episodes we'll bring on some of those signs that we are finding that this is happening right now, but they are starting to happen as of right now. And the people that are stockpiling cash right now, it's not because that they're scared, it's because they're preparing. They know these events are going to happen, and they want to buy when those events happen. So they're stockpiling, getting ready for these events as well too. They know the uncertainties here, so they're out of they're out of those markets. They're holding strong dollar right now, getting ready to deploy whenever the chaos kind of hits in a way. So that's also a good way to think about it as well too. So it's not about being scare the markets. It's about being preparation.
Right. No, and you do have a really good point there. I want to add something to this. So this Berkshire Hathaway's cash pile, he's been out of the market for quite a while. He's been like averaging out of the market for quite a long time. And it's been a speculation for several years now as to why he's holding on so much cash. But that actually just magnifies the point of institutions and big money. They prepare for something over time, right? Like they see that coming, they pay attention to the cycles, and they can't just get instantly in and out of things, right? They have to just average out like this, and in a time where they think is relatively a good time to do it. One other thing I will say, Rob, on the sell-offs, on the insider stock sell-offs, some few things that I saw were really interesting, or I'm going to put them up. So one of them was that Peter Thiel, or Thiel, however you say it, he actually completely sold off all of his shares in ETH ZIL. So that's, the ETH treasury company that he was invested in, which has since dropped 97% from its peak. So he backed out completely, entirely. You have to wonder why, right? Why would a guy of that magnitude and that amount of capital pull completely out of an ETH treasury fund at this moment in time, right? When we're not anywhere near a peak, or like, what is he positioning himself for? And knowing that he's going to destroy that stock. Right. So we've been seeing some of that stuff happen across the board, and you can't help but wonder, is this all correlated to the things that we've been pointing toward, which is another leg down, which is scary for those of you watching. It can feel scary, but if you're prepared for it, it won't be as scary, and you can have a strategy set and be ready to take advantage of the opportunity of a lifetime and know that this industry is going to thrive. It's going to absolutely flourish, move forward with a vengeance. Amazon. I mean, we went over an Amazon chart one of these lives, and it, like, I think it went down like 70 to 80%, maybe 90, before it then went on to be like the fourth, fifth biggest company in the world.
Yeah, it did like a 90% drop. It looked like a small cap altcoin. Like my 10x Phoenix calls out, like whenever I do those, it kind of looked like one of those. Like it got announced, it went on a major run, then it died, went sideways, it went into accumulation, and then it took off. So me. We might be, so we got that crypto bill coming up, and it's supposed to be released as, I think, 60 or an 80% chance or something. It might be
90% chance by April, or in April.
In April, yes. We were saying 90, but Fox said if you read so I saw that being posted was 90% chance, but if you read the bottom on the news channel, it says 80% chance. I always find that kind of funny.
Yeah, I think that was his particular prediction, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Crypto. So I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, so that could potentially coincide with the Sell the News event, right?
Well, that's where, all right, so the chart we went over yesterday, so if that's going to be dropped in April or so, May, and now you think about the chart that we showed yesterday with the 3-day death cross. After that cross happens, 30 to 40 days or afterwards, the bottom's in. That actually might be the buy the news about. That might be the bottom bet.
Okay, it's either going to be a sell the news or a buy the news, but nothing in between. Let's just say like that.
Like that might be like the news. Like, oh, okay, it's time to buy.
Right.
I'm a very big sell the news event type person, but I'm already seeing people saying that's already priced in. I'm like, we've been dipping forever. How's it priced in my head? And then I'm going to go more. I agree. I don't trade news really. I more trade charts. I'm sitting there going, is that really going to be the news that pumps the markets? And everyone's going to be sitting there saying sell the news on it, and it's going to have a reverse effect. I'm like, I'll be honest. For me, I sold the ETF news, and I wish I didn't. So, there are sometimes news catalysts that do run it. So,
that's true. Well, so here's the thing. This is not just any news event. This is a fundamentally driven, open the floodgates, liquidity pour in news event, because it's not just a piece of news like Trump's bullish on crypto. No, this is market structure legislation that will allow banks to come in, that will allow big money to come in with clarity. And understanding the rules of the game. So it's not just any bill. And so it potentially could be a buy the news event. I'm just thinking, we did say that it might take the altcoins a little bit longer to bottom out than Bitcoin. Even if it did that, potentially they could bottom out before April, I guess, based on this
altcoins. I don't know. Altcoins usually a little bit longer, but that could also, I mean, I'm just saying that could be the buy as a news event for Bitcoin, basically. Right. Altcoins, yeah, they might go up a little bit longer, or we get a good bounce. Like my idea is when that comes out, we get that 30 days, we get a nice good bounce on altcoins, we get a good bounce and everything like that. Then maybe do like a little sell off after May or something like that into the summer and go into a giant accumulation period. It's kind of two bar markets ago, which would be kind of awesome because that gives us a little bit easy time in summer. That's kind of my idea I see playing in my head. But again, I'll be playing the charts the whole time. I just think it's amazing how that 3-day chart lines up with that potential of that news drop during that time.
Yeah, absolutely. And so just to remind you guys what we did say, and I said it in the beginning, but for those of you just tuning in, we said that Bitcoin could potentially bottom out like its lowest level, right, within the next 30 days. Now, sometimes it comes down for a double bottom. We're just saying price wise here, right? And then altcoins, we're looking at a pretty massive leg down if the chart we showed yesterday plays out. That is in our group. So if you missed the live, you can go ahead and check it out in our group. The link in the description below, guys. But so that's what we were saying, and we're saying this is a great opportunity. Now, what I think that is inevitable is that however this plays out, whether it's a buy the news event, sell the news event, we are going to get a very long period of consolidation after that before we start to build up our next bull run, right? Yes. So that's what it is, guys. So we're going to try to stay prepared and keep you in the loop at every minute, right? Like as the charts are pivoting, as things are happening, we're keeping you updated, and also you're going to have your altcoin buy guide as to where the levels are that we are looking at to buy altcoins at, and you'll have all the information, right? So you can make informed decisions, and that's pretty much what we're going to be dropping in the group by next week, if not over the weekend. So that's something that you can look forward to. If you are in the group, you will be getting that, and that is huge value. So stay tuned for that. And I don't know, Rob, should we dig into some of the charts, maybe show some results from the past couple of days from yesterday?
Let's show some results from today and yesterday. Yeah. Let's go ahead and find the hive here. But yeah, basically that list we're going to be dropping, it's going to be a very big one, because how many times have you told yourself that you're going to buy the dip and you don't, or like during like the big crash and you freeze up? And I've done that before, where I'm like, oh, the biggest crash is here. I see a big liquidation event or something like that. I wanted to buy the dip, but I never actually have gotten the chance to. One, either I miss it because I'm sleeping or I'm busy driving. There's been times where we've had nice crashes where I wanted to buy, but I was driving, so I couldn't stop and go on my phone and buy. There's always been something like that going on. So this is going to be like one of those things where we're going to give the list of what we're looking at. We're going to show some extreme pullback potential buys that you can put limits on as well too, for limit buys for spot. Of course, this isn't going to be a leverage type thing, but also it's going to, whenever that starts happening, how often do you blank out? Like, what did I want to buy? You don't remember. So we're also going to give you the trading view list that you can just copy as well too. So you have, I'm going to call it the buy the dip list. There's coins on there, so that way you just have just a portfolio right there with just those tokens ready. So that way, whenever it does start dipping or whatever exchange, or whenever you're on BYDFI, you start putting your limit buys in, or you can start getting in on those positions as well too. So that way you already have your plan mapped out and go and you're prepared. So if you have the capital on the sidelines like Warren Buffett does, I'm sure they're preparing to buy some stocks whenever.
Oh, yeah.
I remember this crash I'm talking about as well too is including the stock market as well too, to some of the stuff that we're talking about, and they're
Right.
prepared to buy it, and you have to have capital for that. And if you have capital for it, you don't have a plan for it, there's a high probability you're not going to be able to get some of the best entries there if you're not ready, and you're going to freeze up and not remember, like, oh, did I want to do this token, or is this token bad? I don't remember the FA on it or something.
Yeah, right. So you're going to have all that information at your fingertips in the Hive. So you make sure to be in there. I do want to show you guys this chart too before we look into some of those results. Where is it here? Plan B. Okay, stock to flow model. Like clockwork, dark blue dots, right, coming in. So this is like, the stock to flow model is made over the years that has been relatively accurate, right, as to the path of Bitcoin, the trajectory. And as you can see, all of these dark blue dots are always the absolute best time to buy. And usually we form a cluster of those dots before we start to move out of it. So we're just beginning the blue dot phase. But, it's like lots of alerts and compliments and stuff to say, pay attention. Things are happening right now. We also have a fun prediction from Tim Draper. My podcast is hosted here, so I like to just show this kind of stuff. He's a Bitcoin OG. He says Bitcoin, his prediction, Bitcoin 4x in less than 2 years from here. Maybe a polymarket bet. All right. So I think it's just a reminder to zoom out. This man bought 30,000 Bitcoin for $600 and he still holds all of them. So that is somebody with conviction that sees the future. And, time isn't always accurate, but I feel like it holds some weight as to what they're thinking about, right? And how they're positioning. So
Yeah.
on that note, shall we look at some of those results?
Yes, go ahead.
All right.
Be on.
All right.
All right. So yeah, we had another Mon set up in there as well too, MON, and I think Megan nailed that one there. Then we had somebody nail a hype short, so we got hype short going on in there as well too. So if you're looking to get in the hype on the pullback, we're gonna be shorting it until the pullback is over and getting the down the local bottom as well too. So I'll be keeping TA up on that one as well too. So if it keeps on pulling back, we're gonna keep making money. So that way we could buy more at the bottom. Because
that's right.
People got Mon and Deep short. So Deep, we've been just killing it in group. We've had a lot of take profits and entries on Deep. Sometimes you just trade the same token over and over again. You make a lot of money on it. So
yeah, oftentimes that happens.
Yep. So there's a lot of times you don't have to sit there and watch all the coins. And we set up different ones for different market cap for different people who trade different amounts of capital and stuff like that. So just all kinds, a lot of deep wins.
Yeah. We had some pretty phenomenal wins, guys. I don't know. Should I show?
XRP short. We had an APT short. I think someone's going to them yesterday, but those are some of the wins from that we posted since after yesterday's live, so 24 hours ago.
Right. So good stuff, guys. We had some phenomenal wins in the group, and we just want to shout out all of you. Jeannie, you've been absolutely crushing it. And yeah, Hyperliquid on my radar as well. We will let you know when we get that list out. So will you also let us know how to diversify the best coins? That is a very good question. Now, it's more investor oriented, but there is a school of thought that says that all of the top narratives, you want to choose like one or two blue chips or the best fundamentals within each of those narratives that you believe is going to be like the one that, is hot for the next cycle. So maybe we'll do some of that as well. Jeannie, thanks for that recommendation. And I did not know you lived in Germany. That's pretty cool. Spain is very, very luscious. You must come visit one day. Maybe we'll have to do a Hive trading meetup here at some point. But yeah, fabulous call outs. Rob, yes. Rob has been very busy lately, just making sure you guys get all the most up-to-date charts and sometimes just sending out ideas that he'll see. And when you have the skills and when you've learned how to map this out on your own, you'll be able to pick up on that very, very quickly. And especially after we launch the masterclass.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my things as well, too. Like some of the people have been trading with me for a while. And I could sit there and show them a chart and they know what lines mean what. And it's kind of like I used to work on tugboats and towboats. My dad was a captain and stuff like that. So I got brought up doing that type of work. And as a deckhand, whenever you're a deckhand on a boat, when the captain moves the ship a certain way or a boat a certain way, you know exactly where to walk or throw a line onto the dock or onto a barge, or if you're facing up or if you're approaching the barge to face up to or to hip up to it. You usually know exactly what to do without the captain even telling you, just due to the way that the ship's moving. So kind of, I think, trading the same way as well too. If everybody's looking at the charts in the same kind of way, and you put a chart out there, even with 0 words on it, has the right lines on it, just a couple things on it, you know what to do, and you know how to even manage your risk without anything being written on it. Like, hey, there's a white squiggly line on there. Oh, that's the SMA 9. He's probably above that one here. He's gonna have a stop loss above that, or a fair value gap. He's gonna have a stop loss above that. He's gonna scale in until up to that entry area or something like that. So those are Luigi's just it's just once you start learning strategies, you know, like, oh, he has an arrow point up to here, then goes straight down. He's gonna be sitting there scaling up on that arrow, and then he's gonna be taking profits on the way down. Now, vice versa, it's if you always go where you think the impulse. You only always want to trade where you think the impulse move is gonna be, and the where you're gonna get the best gains.
Yes, absolutely, and that's just what it's all about. And so we're going to help you navigate that basically with a mixture of fundamentals. TA, fib levels, different narratives, hype, also my knowledge of just teams that I actually work with actively, things like that, guys. You're going to get all the juice and all the alpha. That's it. So let me move us back down. Maybe we can have a look at some of those charts.
Actually, I wanted to go over. So the topic today as well too, we were talking about the market cycle top indicators here and why they didn't fire off.
Right.
So there's a list of 100 here that we watched, and none of them fired off on it. And
none of them. 0.
I think one fired off for like a minute, and then it went over there. And then also too, I have this chart here, this is the pi cycle top basically right here with all the fibs, and you usually get a short signal, and you usually get to one of these lines up in that at the same time, which we were going for the orange line on this time, which was when we were looking at it, it was actually above 200K, but now it's bending down. Now it's underneath 200K. It's at 199K, this level right here. But those never actually went off on it. So there was a lot of things on this cycle that was a lot different than the last ones. And one of the reasons that we're kind of figuring out why was is the liquidity issue. We think some of the old cycle, the way that I've been kind of just doing my research in it, is these cycles different due to liquidity. And we also have, now I can't think of the words anymore, but we have more leverage positions as well too, and the ETFs, and it's creating different kind of liquidity in the market. That's these old figures aren't working out as well, because whenever these were always went off, it was on a newer, brand new speculative type of asset, to where we're not as new, so we're maturing more. So these all-time high extreme blow off tops and stuff aren't playing out as strongly as kind of from what I understand. And there's also a slight chance that things are being suppressed due to shorting and stuff like that as well too. Kind of like silver
derivatives market. Yeah, absolutely. Also diminishing returns. Yeah, that's basically what you're talking about. So a lot of things at play here as to why we got a little bit more flat of a cycle. But that could also be the theory that you had, Rabba, that we had 2 explosive cycles. Now we've had 2 flatter cycles. Will we be going into another explosive cycle after this?
Yeah, that's going to be a very good question, that one too. And I think we will be, because I think this pattern, so there's a monthly chart right here with the RSI. I like very simple charts sometimes, just because you can clearly see it. We never got up to this trend line as well too, the cycle top trend line, even though it was going to be lower. We only got up to here, but now we're getting almost close to the bottom cycle here. So my question is, if we get all the way down here, we bounce up and we start going up, we get up to this trend line here, will we get a rejection, kind of make a higher low, then kind of come back up, then hit this trend line, and that's going to be our explosive cycle, and we get up to here. So it's going to be some variables that there's going to be a lot of different variables now that we're going to be looking in the market on some of the old indications that we kind of used to use. And we just think, and also too, the whole thing of this market's been different because we've been in a tightening cycle, not a loosening cycle the whole time. So with monetary policy, and that's a very big thing as well too. So there's been a lot of new things, and that's probably why a lot of these signals that everybody looks for, this one here, you can all these 100. Like I said, there's 100 signals here that sit there and tell you to help you find the market cycle top, to sell the top and stuff like that. This is on CoinMarketCap, and of course I watched them. I checked them about once a week at least, and none of them triggered. So. I think that's something to pay attention to. So they're not 100% reliable. But again, now we're getting to the lows again. So we get to try again here, and we get to make life. And like I said, in my opinion, the life-changing opportunity buys are coming up.
Yes. And you guys want to be prepared for that. It does not happen often. And how many times have you told yourself, man, I wish I could get this coin when it was this price? Well, some of those prices you never believed possible again, they might be coming. right? And that's, don't look at this from a place of fear. You can definitely decide what to do with your current portfolio and make decisions, but mainly just be ready. If you don't have the cash, let's go get it. Let's work overtime. Let's take extra shifts. I mean, this is the time now. This is when when you create wealth is in bear markets, not in bull markets, right? This is when you really, it's the buying that creates that wealth, not it's like the selling is a big part of it. But once you buy at these lower levels, I mean, you're setting yourself up for the rest of, the 3 years of the cycle, right?
Yep. Now you understand the cycle. And this is my biggest thing. What happened during this bear cycle that you learned? I mean, some top signals did happen. We showed some of our personal ones on here, and the lower highs and stuff like that. You're gonna know you don't want to go through this pain again. You don't want to round trip again. And we're gonna be, whenever it comes back to those times again, we're gonna be sitting there shooting off those signals as well too, preparing you to take profits. So that way you don't round trip stuff, that you do take profits, that stuff and that you just want to hold for a cycle or whatever. I mean, if you're holding something for a lifetime, that's a whole different story. Put on a ledger, don't even think about it, don't even look at it. But I know some people who will never sell Bitcoin, you know what I mean? So if you're holding that forever, then we're not talking about those bags. We're talking about things that you're trying to compound in a cycle or something like that as well too. So be prepared. So make sure that you're going to be prepared and get in the group, so that way whenever those signals start coming out again, we're not going to be just looking at these signals. Of course, we'll be looking at some of the ones that we went over in group as well too. We'll be looking at 2-week stock RSIs. We'll be watching all of that type of stuff as well.
Right. So yes, I'm so excited too, Jeannie. Like once you start to change your perspective a little bit, you rip off the Band-Aid, lick the wounds. Okay, everybody's looking at their portfolio who's a holder is down right now. Like it's not, just step away from that and think about, what can you do differently this time? How can you be involved in this opportunity? Will you just let it slip by, or will you take advantage? Will you seize that opportunity? And Watchman, I haven't seen you in here in a while, man, but I'm loving those dancing emojis and your good energy and vibes in here. And yeah, if we can snipe the bottoms, oh yes, we can make those massive gains on your favorite altcoins. So right, just start doing some research. We're going to help you with a lot of that research if you're in the hive. And just it's time to start getting prepared. Here we have the pattern that everybody started talking about after we talked about it, by the way. And I don't say that just to say it, guys. It's that we really want to give you the alpha and the signal before it's popular on X, before everybody's calling it out, before people are talking about it, because this is a game of chess. And the earlier you know information, the better you can maneuver in this market. And that's why we take pride in being able to give you all that information first in real time in the hive. So let's go over, I don't know how many updates we have. I mean, we're currently breaking to the bottom of this pattern.
Yeah, so we broke it, we bearishly retested it. Now we're just trending down. It's a very slow move to the downside. So we got a bearish change. Now we got a bearish order block within another bearish retest. So we could come all the way up and bearishly retest it again as well too, which is possible. Right now, the 1 hour chart, I believe, is so we're definitely in a downtrend in the 1 hour time frame as well too. Bearish break of structure, bearish order block. We're now hitting that one here. So that's also Monday's low. So we're at Monday's low as well too. And if we get rejected out from Monday's low, we're going to be looking to make a new low on this as well too. Now we are going to the weekend here. So we might the thing about weekends is sometimes it just stops moving. So we might just sit there and make some kind of range right in here just for the weekend. Right here. But then there's also the Monday laws as well too, to where if you close lower than Monday's low on a Friday, which is tomorrow, and this is more for stock markets, then opening day on Monday, that bearish momentum is going to continue, and you're going to have a down week until we flip until we flip a Monday's high on a Friday. So
yeah, that's a good tip right there. And if you guys haven't noticed, we're with the institutions now, and paying attention to the way they trade and those rules are very helpful.
Yep, just a different way of looking at just different things, just different levels of kind of protecting it. As you can see, we're already turning a little bit red now that we're here. So right now we're just following this trend. Like if this trend breaks up, then we'll be looking to fill the bearish order block on the 4 hour time frame. If not, we get rejected right here, and we just continue this trend as it goes. It's slow. It's a slow grind, but it is what it is. We can't make it go faster. I mean, I wish it would just be personally, I would rather just see a nice big red candle to the downside. Let's hit that 58K and make that bullish divergence we've been kind of waiting for on the 12-hour chart. So we're still looking at that as well too. We got the stock RSI almost under 20, and we're not quite there yet. So we're still going to be looking at that. We're bearishly retesting the 12-hour 9. We broke and played Dancing Queen on the 1-day SMA 9. We did up in here. We did play some longs, and that was last weekend. We got some great gains, but I know, like, I've been playing the 9 for so long that I know the first break of the 9, you typically play Dancing Queen and it doesn't hold, and you kind of fall out underneath it. And especially whenever the Stosh RSI is already close to being topped out and bending down. So that there was just kind of my key signal that this is probably going to be a fake out and we're going to roll over, and we did. So we did, like I said, last weekend we nailed some longs, but again, now we're rolling over. What is this weekend? Like, question is now, is it going to be a pop and drop weekend? Are things going to go sideways? Some alts going to get some pops and drops? Don't know. And we will have to find out. But that's kind of just where we're at with the charts right now. There's not really much more to say about it. We're just at this. We're at the bearish retest level. How high does the bearish retest go is kind of the question right now.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be keeping you updated in real time in the Hive. We got a lot of good setups going into the weekend. We're currently in some setups now, and guys, it's never a bad time to start. Today is the day. If you've been watching, if you've been lurking in the shadows, you're all welcome, right? We're all part of the Hive. We're all, working together to get better. And Jeannie, I said I saw you needed some work with the fibs and things. Guys, anything you need help with, you've got the best mentor ever. And right now, everybody has access to the group for free. You just have to sign up for BYDFI and join through our link. So guys, take advantage of that. It is only free until March 1st, and then it's switching to a paid group. And we want everybody to get as much value as possible before then. And, anything you need help with, we're always very open. Rob is a great mentor, and we're just a very inclusive group. From beginner to intermediate to advanced, everybody is going to benefit from being in the group. And that's it. I mean, we're going to have a wonderful weekend. I don't know what you guys are all doing. Let me know what you're doing over the weekend, how you're feeling. Are you excited? Are you fearful? Are you, any kind of thing? That's what we have these crypto and cocktails for, sort of just to talk it out, right? Just to have a little chatter on what's happening next and how we're getting positioned. And that's it, guys. I mean, you have the blueprint. Go back and watch yesterday's live. If you didn't watch it yesterday, it's full of nuggets and like just literally a blueprint to what could happen for the rest of the year. Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, at some point this year, we are going to turn up. I just want to show one more chart before we go off of here today. We're going to look at a 2-week chart just real quick. I forgot to mention this one here. And we still have yet to have the bullish crossover on the Stosh RSI. And you got to remember, that's something that happens like once a year. And whenever you're in the bear market, it actually it usually marks the end of the bear market. So if we start getting that towards the middle of the year, or towards that time as well too. So there's a lot of things that we're going to be watching in order to confirm the bottoms in, so we can start flipping the bullish group and we can start trading long. So I know one thing. I know people love trading long. It's a lot easier to trade long for the average person, and the group gets a lot more fun trading long. But for me, I like trading no matter what. If we have more downside, we're going to keep capitalizing off of it, and we're going to have more profits to buy. Like I said, right now we're short in hype. We have a short setup on hype, and if that bottoms out, we're going to have more capital to buy hype for the spot long term.
That's right. And that's a great way to look at it. So guys, don't approach this in the position of fear. And if you are fearful, get in the group. We'll help you out. We'll help you, do better, improve, do things differently, get better entries on your long-term backs, all of that. And yeah, Jeannie, you got the right spirit. Let us know over the weekend. You're going to be on the grind. I love it. I love it. We're all going to be working this weekend inside the Hive. And it's also Rob's birthday weekend. Rob will be having his birthday on Monday. So it's going to be a fun time. We might be launching a pre-sale or something of the sort, and a celebration for his birthday. I know you never know. You never know. Might drop some gems here. So stay tuned, join the group, and we'll have an amazing weekend. And guys, all of you have an amazing weekend. Go out and touch some grass, have some fun, and we'll be back again next week. So that's it. Rob, have a great weekend as well. And we will see you guys on Monday.
Have a good weekend. See you Monday.